Hello people, today I have the option parts set 9 large booster unit from the 30-minute missions line. It is currently in large booster mode. It is rideable by an Examacs unit. It has thrusters here in the back so you can take flight where you will. There are other modes to this. Of course, it is 30-minute missions. They never leave anything simple like this. Lots of 3mm connections and lots of what are they called, the C-clip connections on this one. So we're going to be looking at that in just a little bit. But as you see here, it is rideable by your Examacs. So it's got the 2 handles up front here on the nose section. You got some 3mm ports underneath. There are 3mm pegs on the side, and actually in the back it has a 1 3mm port in there and 1 peg as well. There's another piece that goes into that, which is just to cover. But in this shape and form, it does look like a nice little vehicle. I think that it's a really cool looking, somewhat of a fighter craft. Because they are on 3mm pegs, a lot of these parts rotate. That is something inevitable in these model kits. There are some parts that also move, like this one here, for example, can move outward and inward. That is for its alternative purpose, of course, but we will cover that in just a second. So yeah, this one is a pretty nifty model kit just in and of itself, but its true value shines when you take everything apart. So of course, like I said, everything is on 3mm pegs and ports. So we have this unit here. We take this part off. We don't need those, but this part comes out. Maybe. Supposed to be simple. All right, and like I said, there's a 3mm port there. I thought it was a port. It's a peg. But that plugs into this, and this is able to attach as a backpack to one of your Examacs. This can also port in several various places on your Examac. So that helps you to turn this into a modular fighter. So I'm going to go ahead and combine this with the Alto in the way that they show on the booklet, and we will go from there. So here is our Alto with these add-on parts. You can see I added the back right here. This one can also be added to the front. It looks a little goofy. I'll show you in the instructions right now. But with the legs, those look tremendous in my opinion. I think those add an ultimate looking thruster set for the legs. Definitely a space use or air use only. A really cool set of add-ons there. That one, I mean, it's not a win in my book, but I could see why you would want it. You can also leave that part plugged in there and plug this part down here. Not entirely sure why, but if you want to merge them together, there's multiple ways to do so. And then again, you can put that on the chest if you take off the armor plate that is here. It gives it a little goofier form in my opinion, but like I said, it is something that can be done. I'm not really a fan, but I would probably leave this part off anyway. And I also think that that happens to look better with these from the large propellant tanks instead of the booster set here. But we'll leave that alone for now. They are combinable as well. We'll probably do that in another video. So now I'm going to go ahead and put some other model kits together with this thing. Obviously here is my Gundam, my GBN based Gundam from the Build Diver series. And here he is riding on the large booster unit. Looks really cool. I think maybe a little silly, but it still works even with the high grade, which is a little larger than my Alto. Here's Jinrai rocking it out. It does plug into his back all right. Again, it looks a little silly, but I can see the idea. Architect here has some new legs. They aren't exactly perfect for the frame arms girls, but they do fit in. So with some additional connectors, I think you can get something a little bit more legit than this. That said, these look really fine on her. All right, and one of the things they mention in passing in the instructions is that you can combine the two external parts to make a shield. I figured our resident shielder here would show off that technique. It looks pretty great, although a lot too big for this little guy. Still pretty cool. Now, while he can't actually carry this thing, Alex is showing off the size of this shield. So if you wanted to make an oversized blocker for your 30-minute missions, there are other options, of course, but this is something that you can add some stylization to. It is really nice, I think. So with lots of different options in this set and some big oversized parts for your customization interest, I think this is one that you guys would enjoy putting together with some of the stuff that you already have. The 30-minute sisters and frame arms kits look like they would be very promising for these, as well as your, of course, 30-minute missions kits, which is this series belongs to. So lots of fun things to be had, combining with other kits that you already have or adding new ones to it as well. I highly recommend this set. It was only, I think, $11, $11.99, something like that. So a little bit more than $10, and you have yourself quite a lot of options to play around with. They are very reminiscent of the propellant boosters as well. Of course, this one doesn't have its thrusters because I'm still in the process of painting them. But these ones having 2 thrusters and those ones having 1, it just gives you a little bit of a different flair. So something different to be added to your stuff. With that said, though, I think that's it for my review. But I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.